What's up, Grovelanders? We're back with another update for our moving to Florida plans, as well as hand in hand with an update on the projects of our house to get it ready to sell. Over the last year or so, I have been posting some maintenance videos, some DIY projects, at-home projects I was doing to prepare for this house to sell. Some of those projects I never actually filmed the finished product or the completion of that project, so I'm just going to update on some of that stuff, as well as what I'm currently working on, with Colleen and I both working full-time as well as getting stuff ready in the house. There just hasn't had a whole lot of time to do any updates. So that is the purpose of this video right now. I'll link all these projects down below, but this was our master bathroom that I was working on, installing a double sink. And I can't even remember where I left off. I believe I installed the pocket door, but I hadn't even painted yet. I never even installed the double vanity. Alas, it's finished. I did actually get it done. So all the plumbing, feed lines, and drain all come in from this sink here. And I basically plumbed that sink running right behind these drawers here and tied it all in over here. So it's all draining through one line. And the feeds come in here, and I branched them off and ran them behind these drawers to feed that faucet there. I did that because there is sprinkler plumbing that runs through this wall here, because it feeds the sprinkler around to this other side here, right there on that wall. So when I opened up the wall to try to do the plumbing, it wouldn't let me. So I had to figure out a different way to do it. Draining over here and over here. And I apologize for the mess because we are moving. So I literally have closet organizers stacked on top of the bathtub right now because I'm tearing out carpeting in our master bedroom right now. The master bedroom is going to stay carpet, and I do not do carpet. So I have an installer coming tomorrow, and I will be helping him, but I am doing all the prep work right now today to get this ready for tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be linking all the videos down below. So I did replace flooring in 2 of our bedrooms upstairs already. This other bedroom here is one of the ones that I did the flooring on, and we're using it for storage. Right now, I recently painted this room and replaced the blinds. So this room is complete, so we can say goodbye to this room. Over here was the other bedroom that we did the carpet replacement to hard floor, but this is remaining carpet. This was already replaced. Didn't have time to film that. Flooring installer came on a weekend, knocked it all out, so our steps and upstairs landing is finished. Some exterior stuff we had to do was a little bit of landscaping here on our walkway. That was all torn up, so I just had a landscaper come in and quickly fix this to make it all look nice. But the deck is finished too. Finally, I did all the woodwork. I linked that video down below. So I replaced all the rotten wood, and then I did just pay a painter to come out and paint the deck so that it covers all the old wood that was left as well as the new wood, so it all looks uniform and it looks pretty dang good. The deck is done. You can say goodbye to the deck. I still have a lot of outside work to do. Pressure wash. I've got an old beehive remnants up there I gotta clean off, and obviously clean some concrete out here. Who's that? And right now the garage is storage too. This used to be a printing room for apparel printing. It's now all just shelves and empty boxes for when we need to pull boxes to pack. Carpet padding here we're going to be using tomorrow. This is what it looks like when you're trying to move. Our kitchen's a little messy too. All the doors are off the cabinets. We are paying a painter to take care of all the painting of the cabinets as well. So they came out, did some work on the lower cabinets, took the doors to their shop, and then they'll be back momentarily, probably in a couple days, to get everything finished. I just do not have time to do everything myself. Oh, who's that? Why aren't you painting the cabinets?
I could.
Could you? So much to do still. Every time I walk through the house, this door has to be replaced because we've had cats in the past. And one thing we did not update on yet is Colleen got a job in Tampa. So we're driving down there on the 19th of August. Right now it is the 11th. So 8 days from now, we'll be driving to Tampa, and I'll be flying back on the 23rd. She starts work on the 24th and she'll be staying down there. Melody and I will be staying up here throughout the listing of the house. Once the house is listed, I'm going to start applying again, because that'll give me about 30 days for the sale of the house and closing, and then I can get down there myself. So the goal is for all of us to be down there by mid-October. Right now it is August 11th, so it is coming fast. So a lot of these projects I've been doing over the last year are stuff that the realtor actually suggested to us, and then we refreshed because it's been quite a while, and they added a few new things. So the crown molding on the kitchen cabinets didn't used to be there. I put that up a couple weeks ago, so it is crazy busy. As far as our plan for listing the house, we will have a coming soon ad run on August 30th, and that's basically just going to be one picture of the exterior. So I got that exterior work done next, so that's ready to go to take a photo. And then interior photos, all this interior work needs to be done by September 5th. And listing the house September 6th or 7th. Oh, and why do I sound congested again? It's because I am. Another stupid sinus infection. I get one like every month and a half. I have a stupid sinus infection. I don't understand. Maybe it's from all the dust from working around the house and I don't wear a mask.
One eternity later.
Well, it's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded updates on moving to Florida, and I'm still adding to the video because I have yet to edit any of the content. So I'm just going to keep adding on until I finally have time to edit it all. But anyway, we're back in the kitchen. I don't even remember if we showed painted cabinets or not. I put the crown molding on. They are painted, doors are on, new knobs. Right now, I'm about to work on this backsplash because I had installed this maybe a year ago, something like that, and it started to peel. Mostly where it got the wettest, which defeats the purpose of a backsplash. So this was not 100% successful choice of product. What I'm going to end up doing here is to try to save it. I bought this clear vinyl, which says that it's designed for backsplash. I'm basically gonna clean it carefully so I don't peel anything off. Best case scenario is I save it and it looks good, and then it can be cleaned and nothing will peel anymore. Worst case scenario is it ruins it even more, and then I'm gonna end up tearing the whole thing off and redoing it. Now that actually looks pretty good. I didn't know it was going to get cleaned that quickly, but just using an all-purpose Clorox bleach. And I can just let that dry a little bit, and then we will start applying the clear vinyl. All right, this is dry, so we are measuring the length we need, 90 inches exactly across the back there. So I got this all stretched out here and marked that at 90. Just going to make that straight there, cut that. So we have the piece that we need. I got the piece all cut, and then I lined up the top edge where I want it to line up over top of the backsplash, and taped it off with painter's tape because it's kind of like applying signage. If you ever worked signage or applying vinyl to anything, this has a carrier sheet on the bottom of it. So we're basically gonna flip this up, spray it with water so we have time to pull it back off if we make mistakes, and then squeegee it on little by little so that it stays straight. This was a bit of a pain in the ass. I'm all by myself, so I don't have help, and the vinyl does rip a little bit. It started to rip right at that corner, but I was able to save it. I think it's gonna be okay. The only blemish is right there. I could not get that corner to stay down for the life of me because the faucet's in the way. So maybe if you do this, take the time to take the faucet out. I don't have that time because I've got a ton of other things I'm doing in the next 2 days. So I had to act pretty fast, and wherever the water was sprayed the heaviest, there's going to be bubbles, but they will eventually go away as it dries back there. If you want to, you can take a hair dryer, dry it quicker. I don't know how this holds up too much heat, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just wait for it to dry, keep squeegeeing it off and on throughout the day, and then if there's air bubbles, you can just take a knife at the very tip and pop them and squeegee over it, and it should be good to go. Definitely not the easiest thing to do, but it's easier than replacing all the backsplash. Oh, I did, as I was squeegeeing it down, I don't know if you could see in the time-lapse video, I did cut around these outlets. As I worked this around it, I cut it out to keep working around that. And now I'm just going to take this knife and cut it right at the edge of that trim there. For this area right here, there's only 3 pieces peeling. Everything else is good. I do not have enough clear vinyl to do that whole section, and nothing gets wet back here. So the reason I chose this over here is because the water splashes. It's the wet side. So I wanted to kind of seal it. If you just glued these individual pieces down, more and more is going to just keep happening. So I wanted to basically cover that whole area. Whereas over here, it's just 3 individual pieces. So I'm just going to take this rapid fuse and re-stick it. It's basically just the adhesive is failing with this facade piece here that's covering the foam. The adhesive just is not staying because it's very cheap.
A few minutes later.
And that is how you do it. This stuff comes in very handy. Keep this around, definitely. Now that that is pretty much under wraps, I do have to get back to painting. So yesterday and the day before, I have been doing nothing but painting. We did have a painter do the ceilings for us in the living room, master bedroom, and this hallway up here. But I did the walls over the last couple of days, so I have to continue. The house is torn apart. I have housekeepers coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. to deep clean kitchens, bathrooms, mop floors, get it ready for interior photos on Tuesday. Today is Sunday, so I got a lot to do today. It's gonna be a long day, but walls are done, and I just have to do like windowsills and this here over the fireplace so I can put the decorations back up.
Much later.
It's after 11 o'clock at night, and I am about to go upstairs and start working on my bedroom, but I've pretty much done the downstairs. There was doors upon doors to paint. Doors, 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 and baseboards, windowsills, decorating, vacuuming the furniture from dog hair. One last box to wrap up, but it's looking pretty good. Painted this countertop there. This clear covering on the backsplash is working out pretty good. Bright and early tomorrow morning, I'll be painting the white sides of the stairs going up and those baseboards. And then it's on to the upstairs. This house is clear. Yes, that's right. I'm finally done all of the upgrades. We're currently showing the house. It listed on Thursday. It is now Sunday. So I missed a couple days of updates, but again, haven't had time to edit, so I'm actually just putting together this video, finally editing piece by piece, brick by brick. But the house is finished, finally. It took quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort, but it is showing. We actually have our first offer. It is a little bit above asking too, so that's a good thing. Instead of walking around and showing you everything about the house that I've done and everything being finished, I did a time-lapse video, so I'll put that in right now. Currently, we have had 12 showings in 5 days. There was going to be 13. One of them canceled today, but we did pick up another one tomorrow. So there's 13 showings in 6 days. And anyone who is currently interested, we're asking for their offers by the end of the day tomorrow so that we can make a decision the next day within 24 hours of all offers coming in. So as you saw in the video, Colleen is already living and working in Tampa area. Right now she's staying with family, so luckily it's not a financial strain on us having us both in different states, but that can't go on for too long. So we may end up getting an Airbnb at some point, maybe for October 1st, just to bridge that gap between when we are fully out of this house and into the next house. So yes, I am here all by myself, keeping this house pristine. I'm like a ghost, like no one's even here. When I leave for work, make the bed, turn on all the lights, open the blinds, don't leave anything out, and that way they can just show it at any time. We're using an app right now. Our realtors have this set up so that I know when there's a showing requested. I push yes as a text notification, or I can go into the app, see the showings requested, and just say yes, no. Obviously I'm saying yes to everything. We're also very close to getting financial approval for a loan for a new build, which is the one that we've talked about in previous videos. It's a DR Horton built home called the Ensley. When I was just down there last at the end of August with Colleen so she could start working down there, we did take a look at that development one time, and there is a lot that is perfect. There's no front neighbor, no back neighbor. There's just side neighbors. There's a big common area in front of the house, so it'd be good for Melody and walking keeper. So ideally, we are like focused on that lot. Literally every resale home we have looked at in Florida, none of them has piqued our interest. None of them within our budget, I should say. So it seems like down there, I guess because of how crazy the market was, no seller seems like they care about even cleaning their house. I don't even understand it. Like, I made this house pristine so that we can have an edge up in the market, even so it's move-in ready. There's literally nothing that anyone has to do to this home when they move in, unless they just don't like the paint colors, and then that's on them, they can paint it. Some of the resales we looked at need entire roofs. Like, there's literally shingles missing. I don't understand how like you can even show a house and sell it in that condition at the price point that they're trying to sell it at. So needless to say, we have not been at all thrilled with resales at all. We were hoping to find a home that already has a pool in the backyard so that we don't have to deal with that. Even ones with pools, there's just too many negatives stacked up against it to justify getting that house even though it has a pool. So we're leaning hard towards the new build, and the financials are being worked out as we speak, so we should know tomorrow more details of that. If I could find a job down there ahead of time before we would go on a contract on that house, that would be best, because I have a little bit better credit than Colleen, so our interest rate would be a little bit lower. And the neat thing about buying the new builds also is their phases are already built into whatever the interest rate at the time that they started that phase. So even though interest rates are, I think they're close to 8%, like 7.7, 7.8, something like that. But right now, this phase, if we were to get this house, it would be in the mid 5s, 5.5 to 5.7, something like that. So any little bit of interest rate savings is a bonus for me. Timing right now is also critical. So we would have to close on this house, selling this house, to get it off our record to be able to close on the new house. So hopefully get a couple more offers on this home by the end of the day tomorrow, and then we can evaluate all of our offers, make a decision Tuesday, and we can then get a closing date no later than mid-October, because the new home should be available like mid to late October, they said. Now hopefully that's a little conservative and it's pushing more late October, but the timing does have to work out so that we can close on this home before we would even be able to close the sale on that home. With it being a new build, we cannot close until the home is move-in ready. It has to pass inspections and things like that. So we have that on our side. And ultimately, if it was meant to be, it is going to happen. So, we can put all our efforts into it and worry about things that we can't control or not. I choose not to worry about anything that I can't control. So would it be great to get that house? Sure. It does not have a pool. There are some negatives with it, but the positives far outweigh the negatives compared to every other home that we have seen. Fingers crossed, it works out and we can get that house. As far as my job situation, basically I'm planning on putting in my 30 days notice. Once we make a decision to sell, I will time my 30-day notice with obviously the closing date. We may actually have to push the closing date to the 15th on purpose, because I will have to give a 30-day notice, but I also need a week off of not starting a new job down there, at least a week, so that I can rent the truck, pack it here, and then drive it down there and then figure out our plan with Melody. If we don't have a house ready to go into, then Colleen and I will probably just be staying in a very tiny Airbnb until we have that house to move into. And then we'll get Melody from her grandparents. So she's just hanging out with her grandparents right now. Her and Keeper are chilling with her grandparents, spending time with them while we are showing this house and getting it sold. And then she'll be coming back here in a couple of weeks. And then when we have to be out of this house, she may have to go back there for another couple of weeks until we have a new house to go into. So, you know, having family around to support and help with this transition from state to state is definitely a bonus and very much appreciated. And now I'm gonna go add this recording to the video that you just watched, because it was weeks and weeks of content all edited together. And remember, time is everything, money is a tool, and we can't afford to waste either one. Last tag.